Okay, we're recording now. Now I will share. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and get This is awesome. Excuse me 2 seconds. I have to let my dog out because he's going to scratch.
Hey, Janan, do you mind muting yourself?
Oh, how do I do that? Let's see. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just ask if you have any kids or anything, just mute yourself. It's no big deal. This is very informal. So if y'all feel free to stop me. Sometimes I kind of get going, and if you have a question about something. Okay. Today we just want to talk about a few things that I've experienced, and I've gotten some of this, from other ambassadors about what you can do to rank up. And there's really three things, and I won't go back, but basically they're the three must-haves to succeed with Plexus are belief, attitude, and commitment. Y'all, if belief is huge. I totally believe in this company. I believe in the products. I believe that I can do this. I pretty much believe that from day one, just because I had seen other people that other people that I knew personally, and through Julia, that were having amazing success with this business. So the thing is, if you believe and say you believe that you can do this, but you don't have belief in the products, maybe you've had a health setback, because I know sometimes we start like, oh, this is great. And then all of a sudden we're not losing the weight we thought, or, maybe we start having stomach issues again, or you start getting tired again, or whatever it is. Sometimes you just need to tweak the products, or maybe it's, not the products at all. Maybe it's your diet, or maybe it's, what you're eating. Because I know me personally, we moved back from Italy where we were used to eating everything that was all natural, not processed. And we got here, my stomach didn't hurt anymore. So I was like, I can kind of eat whatever I want. No, you can't, and maintain the weight. And so that has nothing to do with Plexus, but all about me and what I'm putting in my body. So I just encourage you to, look at just the all-around picture, and just make sure that, you totally believe in the products, you believe in this company, even whenever, sometimes we have issues like these credit card issues. I've been with Plexus for about 14 months now, and I can honestly tell you we've been through way worse than this. And the company, y'all, they stand behind everything they ever say. When they say they're going to take care of it, it may take for a while, but they are going to take care of it. And they usually reward us with something, usually some kind of special, or I don't know if they'll do that this time, but I just really believe that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. They're not going to close. They're not going to, not get people their products. Eventually they will take care of everything. The next thing is attitude. This is kind of my favorite subject, because even this kind of goes back to even, with my kids. That's something that you just can't, if you have a bad attitude, y'all, if you wake up with a bad attitude, your day is going to go bad from, the time that you spend with your kids, with your husband, with anybody you come into contact with. It's not going to go well. And, I've personally, just in the last couple of years, had a lot of bad things go on with my extended family. Deaths, divorces, a lot of bad things. And y'all, I could have chosen to, actually one of them happened right after I started posting with Plexus, right after I started selling. Probably it was this time last year, 1st of September, my sister-in-law committed suicide, y'all, and I'd only been doing Plexus for about 6 weeks. That pretty much knocked the wind out of me. I just spent 3 weeks with her. I had no idea. And it was hard. And, it made you sit back and, put everything into perspective. Like, what am I doing? And what, is this important? And y'all, I could have let that just, just stop me in my tracks and have a bad attitude about everything and blamed everybody else and blamed myself. I could have done a lot of things, but y'all, I just prayed about it, and I just asked the Lord to help me have a good attitude for my family, for my business, because I had just started and I was doing really well, and I wanted this. And so I didn't let that stand in my way. I did not complain all the time. Shortly after that is when all the back office stuff started. And y'all, Julia Carty is amazing. She had, obviously way more customers and way more ambassadors than I did, which means she had way more problems. But did she ever once complain to me? Or did I ever once see her complain in any of my threads? Absolutely not. She had complete belief in the products and the company and the compensation plan. And she just encouraged me every day. And so if she hadn't done that, I think I may have quit. So what I want to say about that is your attitude and, how you talk to your downline, how you talk to your customers, your upline. Y'all, it's so important. Don't ever, 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 ever complain to a downline. This is, to me, is one of the most important things I can tell you. Because sometimes even it might be a close friend, and, you two get to where you just want to sit and talk about all the bad stuff that's going on all the time, or just complain. I mean, you really need to find somebody that you can talk to about that, but never let it be a downline. You can talk to your upline. You can find a sideline to talk to, or your husband, or just anybody, but never, ever complain to a downline, because we're all going to have bad days, y'all. Excuse me. We all do, but find somebody that you can confide in and that's going to lift you up and be positive with you. If that person is somebody that is normally negative, steer clear of them. You have to surround yourself with people that are going to lift you up and just help you every day have a good attitude. I actually had somebody, she's a sideline, but actually lives in DC. I had never met her until convention, but for probably 6 months, we messaged each other almost every day. And it just helped us both get through, we just encouraged each other. When I was having a good day, I was able to encourage her. If she was having a good day, she was able to encourage me. So I would definitely, one thing that I always tell my little ones is to find somebody, if you have a team page, find another sideline that has a team page and ask if you can get on their team page. And that way you guys can, you can share ideas, and it just kind of helps you just have somebody to confide in. And the third thing is commitment. If you have even one person that's on your team, or even if you just have one customer, y'all, you're a leader. And, to begin with, when I first started, I didn't really see myself as a leader, but, every person that you sign up, like I said, either as a customer or as an ambassador, they're looking to somebody to tell them what to do. And that person is you. And if you're not doing it, I've seen it time and time again, they go find somebody else. If they message you and you don't answer their questions, or you don't at least try to find the answer, I'm not expecting you to know the answer. None of us know all the answers. I still ask questions every day to my husband. I mean, that's just, and that's just how it is. But it's your responsibility to be there for them and be committed. Let's got some notes here. Leading your team, and like I said, even if it's just customers, that's your responsibility. If you're, going to be in the business, please take it seriously, because these products are life-changing, and I've seen it change a ton of lives as far as, health-wise and financially. I mean, it's been huge for me, huge for our family financially. And, I just hate to see that anybody that you sign up, you not give them the same opportunity that you've been given. Don't disappoint them by stepping back. If we're having a hard time, don't put your head in the sand and just pretend like things aren't happening. I just went recently. I don't know if y'all know who Scott Pankey is. He's an Emerald ambassador. Just went Emerald, and he's got the Uptown Funk video that went viral. It's really awesome. If you haven't seen his, you really need to check it out. But he was just here in Virginia about, I don't know, I think it was last week, and I went to his training, and he was telling us about how when he went senior Ruby, some of the back office stuff happened, and he said he was just like, no, I can't do this. He was senior Ruby, y'all. He stuck his head in the sand, and his points went back to senior gold. I mean, he's got a viral video, and all these people are expecting him to be diamond, and he just thought, he's like, you know what, I'll just take care of this stuff. I'm just, he just thought now that he has all those people on his team, that he can just kind of sit back and just, coast. But it's not like that. I mean, you don't have to work this business all day, every day, but you do have to put a little bit of time in every day. And whatever time that is that you can commit, if it's, 2 hours, great. If it's 30 minutes, that's great too, but just make sure that you put the same amount of time every day. If you work full time, I'm not sure if there's anybody on here that does, but Brooke Smith, she's also an Emerald Ambassador. She shared with me that when she was a teacher, she just retired, or, not necessarily retired, but she doesn't have to teach anymore as of last May. But she told me that how she did it for the week is every Sunday night she sat down, instead of cold messaging 3 to 5 people, she did it all in one night. She said, no, it took me longer, but she still did that every single week. And that's how she got to where she is, because she didn't slack on it. And she also scheduled out her post every Sunday night. So whatever you have to do to just get a schedule, get a calendar. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I've just got names written down every day of who I'm going to reach out to and who I'm going to follow up with. To me, that just makes the week go by so much smoother. If you wake up every day and you're like, I'm going to call message people, but then you have to sit and look at your list for, 30 minutes to try to figure out who to call message, well, then you've already wasted 30 minutes. If you just sit down one day, take 30 minutes to an hour and write down all those names and just go with it every day. Don't look back. Just message them. If they say no or they ignore you, move on. That's totally okay. That's going to happen. It happens to all of us. Okay, we'll move on to the slide that I actually have on the screen now. What 2 things must I do to rank up? Okay, I'm not going to tell y'all anything that's like earth-shattering today, but these are, if you're a Plexus ambassador and you want to do this business, these are the 2 things you have to do. Posting. Like I said, that's not earth-shattering, but I've got some people that just want a cold message and they don't really want to post. Y'all, that's so important, because if you aren't posting 2 to 3 times a day, and say you cold message somebody, say I cold message Melissa. She didn't really know anything about Plexus, and I just message her and say, hey girl, I know you see my post, are you interested in Plexus? Well, if she, says, well, no, thank you, but 9 times out of 10, what people do is they may say no, thank you, or they may ignore you, but the first thing they're going to do is go straight to your page, and they're going to go, what's this Plexus stuff about? If they don't see anything on your page, then they're going to be like, well, I don't have any idea what that is, and she must not be that passionate about it because she's not even posted on Facebook about it. And they're just going to move on. So that is why I say it's so, so, so important to post every single day without skipping. I've been doing this for 14 months, and I can count on one hand in 14 months how many days that have gone by that I didn't post. I always post. And most of the time, 2 to 3 times a day about Plexus, because I can guarantee you not every person is going to see every single post. I know y'all probably heard us talk about that a lot, but it's the truth. And I can prove that because I have my sister-in-law, for example. She used to do Plexus, but she doesn't really do it anymore. But she might post something about my nephews. Well, if I'm scrolling through my news feed, sometimes I'll come across, or if I just go to her page, I'll see a post that she did. And she's my sister-in-law. But she may have posted it 3 days ago, and I didn't see it. And y'all look at Facebook, obviously, every day, and I didn't see her post. So that just goes to show you that just because somebody posted it doesn't mean it's going to show, or just because you posted it, it's not going to show up in somebody's news feed. Another thing you can do is make sure you go to, if you've got somebody that you're interested in reaching out to, or somebody that you want to see your post, make sure you're commenting on their post, or you're privately messaging them, because that way your post will start showing up in their newsfeed. That's just kind of how Facebook works. Examples of what to post are obviously morning between 7 and 9, lunch between 11 and 1, and afternoon 2 to 4, evening 8 to 10. And, if you kind of, some days, you might be busy and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to post. I kind of have it in my head. I've had it written down before when I first started, is I just kind of, post a testimony in the morning, around lunchtime, kind of something funny. Every now and then in the afternoons, I'll post between 2 and 4, because there's a lot of people that are like in Caroline or something in the afternoons. And then in the evening, I'll post either something about the products or a business post. And if you just kind of have a rule of thumb, that's what you're going to post every day. It doesn't exactly obviously have to be that, just however you want to do it, but just make sure that you're mixing up your post. So you're not just always posting just about the products, because the products are amazing, but y'all, if you want to grow a team, you need to be posting about the business. I know sometimes people are like, well, I don't have anybody on my team, so I don't really, I'm not really making that much money yet, so I don't really know what to say about the business. Y'all share my testimony, share Julia's testimony, post Diamond documentaries, or Melissa's testimony. Anybody that you can find. That's what I did when I first started, and eventually you will have a business, but nobody is going to join your team unless you ask them to. They're not going to know what amazing opportunity that we have if we don't tell them. Like I said, mix up your posts. Don't post the same thing every day. I can think of one person in particular that posts almost the exact same thing every single day. And it's, people are just going to scroll by that. Eventually they're just going to get bored. They're not even going to stop because it needs to be something that catches their eye. I say this all the time too, but y'all, graphics do not sell Plexus. Personal post about Plexus is what sells Plexus. Personal post about what it's doing in your life and, your family's lives, your friends' lives, other ambassadors. If you post about another ambassador, tag them and say, my friend so-and-so, so that your Facebook friends will know that, this is actually somebody that you know personally and not somebody that you just, got off the internet somewhere, which is okay. We share those too, but anytime that you can make it as personal as possible, the better. Because I just know I have a lot of Plexus ambassadors in my news feed. And I do stop and look at them sometimes, but the only ones I stop and look at are the personal ones. If it's just, graphics are okay sometimes, but it needs to be, if you're actually going to share a graphic, it needs to be one that really, when you were scrolling, it caught your eye and you stopped. You didn't just, oh, I need to post something. Excuse me, let me just go grab a graphic about Probio 5 and just post it. If you need to do that, then just wait to post. That's weird. I don't know where those little marks are coming from. Did y'all see that? I don't know. I'm not even touching the screen. That's weird. Also, most of you probably already know about this, but if you don't, there are apps that you can get on your phone and computer to schedule your post. Buffer, Every Post, and Hootsuite are the three that I know about. I'm sure there are others, but they're really easy to use, and it just really helps you to get those 2 to 3 Plexus posts a day in there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is cold messaging. This one is absolutely huge for our Plexus business. When I first started, y'all, I'm not going to lie, I was terrified to cold message. And I was on a coaching thread with Ellen Martin Ford, and she talked a lot about it, and I still wouldn't do it, y'all. And I hate to even tell you that, but I didn't. And one day she challenged me. Well, she challenged all of us to pick 2 people off of our chicken list. And when I say chicken list, that means people that would be amazing at this business, but somebody you're scared to reach out to. Well, I did. No, she challenged us to do 5 people. And she said, if you're scared to do it, then just, type them out right before bed, and then just put your phone down. So you're not looking all day, every 5 seconds to see if they, see if they saw the message, see if they message you back. If you're that scared about it, just send out the message. That's what I did. And I woke up to 3 replies. 2 of them didn't answer, 3 replies, and 2 of them joined my team. 2. I'm not saying that's going to happen every time, because it doesn't, but it got me over that fear. I just want to encourage you, if you're scared to cold message, just pick 2 people today, y'all, and just do it. If they ignore you, it's not a no. I can tell you there have been so many times when I cold message people, and maybe they didn't reply right then, and maybe I followed up and they still didn't reply. And 3 months later, they messaged me and they're like, okay, I'm desperate, I'm sick, and I don't know what to do, and I need your help. And they joined. I just had a girl last week that did she would always, comment on my regular posts, but she didn't reply to my call messages, but now she actually, the day she messaged me, she ordered that day. So I just look at it as planting seeds. If you call message somebody and they may not know what Plexus is, even if they've seen, sometimes I'm like, I've been posting about this for 14 months. You have to know what Plexus is. And maybe they just haven't looked into it. They don't know it's something that they need right now. But they don't know about the business opportunity. Even though we've told them, you can say a million times, I make an amazing income. They may think amazing income is like $100 a month. They have no idea what the real potential is unless you tell them. So with that being said, that brings me to the first example. I wish I could take credit for these, but I got these from Brooke Smith, who is an Emerald Ambassador. I talked about her a few minutes ago, and she's amazing at call messaging. So her first example is this. I'm going to read it off here. I know I keep saying this, but you would kill the Plexus business. Think about it. And while you do, look at my pay for the last 8 months. No need to respond right now. Just think. And she attached a copy of her pay statement. Not her bank account or anything, but just a little email that you get from Plexus. Obviously, she's an Emerald Ambassador, so her pay is going to be very, very impressive. She probably makes about $10,000 a month right now. That's very impressive. But at 8 months, she wasn't making that. And y'all, even if you're making $200 a month, 1 month you're making $300 the next month, $400 the next month, y'all, that shows progression. That shows that you're making more money every single month. And $400 a month can change somebody's life. It can save a marriage. It can save a house. It can save somebody from losing their car. It can pay for the, life-changing products. $400 a month is a lot of money. The first time I made $400, that was huge for us, y'all. That could pay for my son's car payment and his insurance. That's huge for us. So be proud of whatever, even if you're just making enough money, to pay for your products right now. That's big, because there's a lot of people that want to take the products, they simply can't afford it. So that's, the first example of the call message. I love that, because I've got a couple of people that I want to actually send this message to myself, because I think that they would be very, very impressed, because they probably think, oh, she's getting some free product, or she's just, making, okay, they're centered in Dallas, but, what could she really be making? I think somebody might be impressed by that. Okay, the next example, number 2, is, hey, girl, I see you're working out, looking great. We have tons of people that work out that love our Slim Boost combo. Boost is a thermogenic that allows you to burn calories quicker and more efficiently during a workout. Just FYI. Okay, so this is somebody that she said that she just saw, was very fit. She does not somebody that looks like she needs the products. But yeah, there are a lot of times there are people that are very fit, that work out all the time, and they're still sick, or they're tired, or whatever it is, they just don't feel as good as they could. I was one of those. I had been doing CrossFit for 8 months before I started Plexus, but I was still exhausted and my stomach still hurt every day. Nobody else knew that, but I did, So I think that one's good. It's short. It's to the point. It's giving her a compliment, and it's just letting her, just basically letting her know that we have a product that she could use too. It's not all about weight loss, because it's definitely not. Y'all, I would say the majority of my team that need to lose any weight, at the most, maybe 5 pounds. So it's definitely more than a diet pill. Example number 3. Okay. She said, this guy that was somebody that was really into health and wellness as well. He was somebody that had friended her on Facebook, and she thought, okay, let me go look at his page. She looked, and she realized he wasn't, into Plexus, but he was also just into health and wellness. So she messaged him, and she says, hey, so I happen to see your health and wellness post. I promise you that I'm not scoping out people to make a buck. I am a Plexus ambassador and would love to share products with you. We have an entire line of health and wellness products. Our main products are centered around gut health. They are Slim, which is the pink drink, BioCleanse, and Probiotic. All of our products are all natural, stimulant-free, and come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. This may not be for you. You may like to do things without supplements. And if so, totally fine. Just wanted to mention this to you. And she said the reason that she sent just a little bit more with that one is because it's somebody that she didn't know at all. And she felt like, she had one shot. So she told him a little bit more about the products that time. And she said he actually did message back. He said he wasn't necessarily interested right then, but he may be interested in the future. So those, it got some responses. And most of these are just, open the doors. And, example number one, y'all do not ever, ever, ever seem desperate. Be bold, esteem the sale, and like I said, whatever, do not seem desperate. You don't want them to know or to think that you've got to have their, that you need to sign up as an ambassador, or you need their PV right now, just so that you can make some money. Because obviously we all want that, but I mean, they've got to know that we have their best interest at heart, that we care about them, we care about their health, we care about their finances. Because y'all, I wouldn't be in this business if I didn't care about people. And I mean, our whole business is really about relationships. And if you're somebody that likes to help people, you're in the right spot, because it's just, people just have to know that you care about them. I don't know many people that are going to buy health and wellness supplements or sign up under somebody that they don't trust, or that they just think that they're wanting to sell products to them. So make sure with your call messaging that you are short and to the point. Sometimes I've seen these really long messages. They're full of information, and they're worded really well. But y'all, most people, the minute they see Plexus, with the long message, they're just going to scroll by. Most people don't have that kind of time, especially if they work or they're with their kids. If they see something short like this, they're more apt to read it and reply right then. But if they, have to read something, read about every product we have, and how it's helped you. I'm not saying don't tell them how it's helped you, because we definitely need to do that. But just the shorter, the better. Voice messages are also huge. Sometimes I get more responses even with voice messages, because there's something about it when somebody sees a voice message when they may not even open up another, Plexus, just a regular message, the curiosity is just going to get to them. So they've just got to open that up and listen to it. And so a lot of times they can hear the passion in your voice, and I think it just makes them more open to talking to you, because they can see it's not just something you copied and pasted, that you really do care, and they hear your voice. So, okay. Does anybody have any questions about cold messaging so far? Okay, Melissa?
I was unmuting myself. Okay, so if you send a voice message, what's an example of what you say?
Okay. So I sent this to a girl that I used to go to church with back when we lived in Florida. And I just said something like, hey, Lindsay, it's so good to see you. I don't remember. I said something about it's so good to see, the pictures of your kids and blah, blah, blah. They've grown up so much. But I just wanted to touch base with you, because I'm sure you've probably seen all my crazy Plexus posts, and I would just kill to have you on my team. I think that you would rock this business, and I told her why, because she's really outgoing and she's got a big following on Facebook. And just let me know if we can connect this week, or when we can connect this week. And she actually messaged me right back and said, oh my gosh, that's awesome, but my mom's a Plexus ambassador. So I was already just like that much too late. So I think she probably would have been really interested, but she already buys Plexus from her mom. So that's just kind of an example, just short and sweet. Just, let them hear your voice, let them hear your passion, and just be excited. If you're like, hey girl, I was just wondering, don't be timid, y'all. People can hear that in your voice. If you don't feel comfortable with voice messages, please practice before you do them, because I don't know if you've done them before, probably most of you have, but when you press that button down, there's no taking it back. Once you do it, it's sending. So just make sure, maybe say it a couple times. I don't know, like you're practicing in the mirror or something, if you're uncomfortable with it. Some people have no problem doing it whatsoever, but if you're nervous about it, just practice. I do. I'm not going to say I haven't, because that probably wasn't my strong point to begin with, but especially when, we haven't had voice messaging that long. So It kind of, took some getting used to, but I think they really work. And something I've seen on a lot of videos, and I've tried it too, and I think this one I sent to her, I think I sent a regular message and a voice message, because a lot of people say they get more responses when they can actually go back and read what you said, and then they listen to the voice message. So it kind of reiterates what you said. You could say something like, "Oh my gosh, I know that message was way too long, but anyway, girl, I just love to have you on my team. I can't wait to hear from you." Just something simple like that. Just so they, hear your voice and know it's not just a copy and paste message. So anybody else? I can't see everybody else right now. So if you have a question, just go with it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay. So, what if you've been messaging like kind of the same people for like, let's say a year? At what point should you just kind of give up or stop bothering them about Plexus or whatnot?
Are you getting any replies at all from them, or?
No. I mean, I'll go back and like just have a regular conversation, but Plexus related, I won't get anything, but like normal life related, they'll write back. Or if like I've wrote somebody and like asked them if they want info, and then I follow up and I get nothing back. So Plexus is like crickets, but like anything else, they'll probably reply. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, people like that, I definitely would not give up on them. I don't know if I would message them every single month when it gets to that point. Maybe just when there's specials, when the company's running specials, or if you're running a special, or if there's like an online event or something like that. I've got some people like that. We all have people like that. Don't feel like you're. Y'all, I do have some people like that after a year have messaged me and said they're ready to join. So, I mean, it just depends on the person, and, you don't want to annoy anybody. I mean, that obviously is all our biggest fear. We don't want to be annoying. Don't be annoying. But if you're messaging them every single month and you're getting crickets, maybe it's time to just back off just a little bit, give them their space. Post if you know that they've got any certain issues going on. They got diabetes, they got stomach issues or headaches or whatever it is. Make sure you're posting, about those things as much as you can compliantly. You can send them testimonies. If it's somebody that you want for the business, you can send them diamond documentaries. Something different besides just, hey girl, are you still interested in Plexus? Just kind of mix it up a little bit. Because sometimes you might find a testimony that just kind of hits home. I mean, that happens a lot. I think I just sent this morning, it's the weirdest thing. I came across a testimony of Susie McCall, and I thought about a friend of mine who was just messaging me yesterday about her daughter, and just kind of some of the same thing. So I sent it to her, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've got to call you today." Like, she was so excited about it. She's actually an ambassador on my team, but she's not, every now and then she'll buy, but I think this really hit home with her and made her realize that you got to be consistent with the products for them to work. So that's kind of what I do. I don't message them every single month if it's gotten to the point that I'm just literally hearing nothing back for a while, but just maybe every so often.
And sorry, I have something to say too. Also, if they're not responding to Plexus at all, but they're still responding to you, then they're not saying no. Like, if they absolutely did not want to have anything to do with Plexus, didn't want to hear anything about it, they're going to say it. So I feel like you can still tell that there's obviously a little opening there. You know what I mean? Because if someone literally doesn't want to hear it anymore, they're going to tell you, absolutely not, don't talk to me about it again.
And I have even said that. When it's gotten to that point with somebody, I'm like, look, I don't want to bug you to death. If you're totally not interested at all, I won't message you anymore, but you've never said no, so I'm just going to keep messaging until you tell me no. And most of the time they laugh about it. They're like, no, girl, keep messaging me. I'm just not ready yet. Because I mean, honestly, it's not a personal thing. I think most people just thought about it as timing and, just when they're ready. Maybe their finances aren't ready, or maybe they're just not ready for whatever reason. So like Melissa said, yeah, just definitely don't don't take them out of your little, index cards. I keep those forever. If they've ever been in my prospect list, until they sign up or tell me absolutely no, I'm keeping them on my list. So, anybody else? Nope. Okay. I heard this recently with a couple of ambassadors. I think on one of my threads, they were saying that, I'm running out of people, I'm running out of my warm market, I'm not sure what to do. Okay. I know sometimes we feel like that, y'all. That's why it's so, so important to make sure that list of 100 people, I guarantee you pretty much all of you on here have way more than 100 people on Facebook. Actually, contacted all of them. It's time to make another list. And Melissa and I were just, discussing this morning. Don't ever prejudge somebody, y'all. You don't know who in your Facebook, just because they look fit or they look like they've got plenty of money or whatever it is, you don't know what's going on personally in somebody's life. And if you don't know them that well, that's even more reasons to not prejudge them. Or even if you really know them well, don't prejudge them, because actually Darcy Saxon shared with us this morning that she, or maybe I think it was a couple days ago, she's been really hesitant to share with her closest friends about Plexus. And she knows they've all got some issues. So she watched a couple of videos about fear, and she decided to approach them. She already had 2 join her team, y'all, in the last 2 days, just because she approached them. And these are like her close friends that she was terrified to reach out to. So make sure that you don't prejudge anybody. Okay, there's people, every time you go to the grocery store, I realize that some of y'all are in Italy, and that's a different situation. I do realize that. So don't think I don't. I live there. I understand. So I know you can't just go in the commissary and try to recruit people. But in the States, you can, y'all. You can pretty much, it's a whole world of people out there. Your hairdresser, when you go to kids' ball games, if people are sitting beside you, strike up conversations with people. I do all the time now. I just went to Bible study, and I didn't go to Bible study to recruit Plexus ambassadors. Please don't think I do that. But I do go there also to, besides obvious reason of studying my Bible, I go there to make new friends, just because I want friends here. I mean, we've only been here a year, and it's, I'm still new. So, but at kids' ball games or Bible studies or any kind of a thing that you can join, do it. I've, recently joined the gym, a Bible study group. I'm thinking about a bunco group. Actually, tonight I'm going to a new spouses group. And it's just so that I can, just kind of put myself out there and get to know new people. A lot of us on here, if not everybody, are military spouses. And, we move a lot. And so sometimes it is hard to reach out and meet new people. So I totally get that. And we've been doing this for, 26 years, almost 27 years. So I totally, understand what that's like. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're adding new people on Facebook every single day. That should be one of the first things you do along with posting every day, is go through where, it says your friends that you, your, recommended friends.
Suggested.
Exactly. Suggested friends. Go through, and if you've got, as long as they're not just another Plexus ambassador, if you've got anywhere from 10 to 20 friends, friend them. I mean, y'all, you may not know them personally, but you might know somebody that they know. And, you can even message them and say, hey, but we have, this person in common and that person in common, or we have 20 friends in common, so I figure we must know each other somehow. And usually you do. Business cards, y'all, get business cards and actually use them. I know sometimes we get them and they just kind of sit there and we don't really do it. Keep them in your purse. Keep little packages of Slim in your purse. If you're out talking to somebody, you'd be amazed at the stuff people tell you about how they don't feel good or, whatever it is. Give them a business card and Slim and say, hey, I'd love to reach out to you, or I'd love for you to reach out to me. And it's, then it's kind of leaving it in their ball court. I don't know if y'all watched the video with Bridget Ryan, but she says to, if she meets somebody, open up Facebook right then and say, oh my gosh, are you on Facebook? I'm on Facebook. I'd love to connect with you on Facebook, and give them your phone and let them punch their name in, friend them right then and there. That's an easy way to, expand your network. I know y'all, I know I'm giving you these suggestions, and sometimes it's easy to sit here and say that, but you've got to find some way to actually expand your network if you've run out of your cold market. Is somebody raising their hand? Oh, okay, go ahead. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry. I'll lower my hand now. There we go. Okay. So I was going to say, a lot of times, obviously, we hear a lot like handing out your business cards and talking to people about Plexus that you meet, while you're out and about and stuff. And one thing that Ellen said on the call that we just recently had with her is, you don't have to necessarily like go up to a random stranger and just be like, hey, have you heard about Plexus? Because they don't know who you are. You're a complete stranger. You're not gonna randomly trust some stranger. And Plexus has a lot to do with building relationships and building trust. And it's hard for someone off the street to sell you something that they're just, if you just hear it from them that it's good for you, and you're only hearing it from one person, they're not necessarily going to trust you and purchase it right then. So instead, like, find them, build a connection with them when you first meet them. And like Brandy said, get them to friend you on Facebook right then and there. Obviously, as soon as they friend you and they go through your posts and stuff, they're going to start seeing it anyways. But it's best not to like pounce on them with Plexus first thing. Like, build a relationship with them. Maybe message them and say, hey, it was so great to meet you, when you guys start talking, and then eventually bring up Plexus later on. But that's just one thing that she made a big point about is like, you have to have that trust there. So it's not good to just pounce on people right off the bat, because then it comes off as, well, you're just trying to sell something.
Exactly.
So.
Yes, that's exactly right. Especially, if you've moved a lot and you're moving to a new area, you don't want everybody. Joey and I discussed this recently because she hasn't lived in where she lives now for very long either. And, you don't want every person you meet to think that that's all you want is to sell on Plexus. So I think it's important to get to know people first. And then I told, I think my last call that one of our neighbors here, they just moved in June. I think we lived here beside them for a year, y'all. And we kept meaning to get together. We kept trying, but both of us, our kids were extremely busy on the weekends. She had either 4 or 5 kids. And of course I had 2 here. And we were just every weekend, one of us was gone. So we never ever, the one time we were supposed to have dinner together, my husband was in the hospital. So, and then her kid broke his leg or something. So we didn't get to connect, but they just moved to the Netherlands. And she just messaged me last week, or actually I messaged her first because I realized that we had another mutual friend. I was trying to open the door, but I didn't say anything about Plexus. And it was strange to me that all this time I didn't realize that we had that mutual friend. Well, like 2 days later, she messaged me and she's like, okay, tell me about this Plexus stuff. And she told me she's going to order October 1st. So, sometimes it's, I wouldn't recommend waiting an entire year like I did. She had health problems and I knew it, and I should have probably tried to get her by Plexus before that, at least try it. But I just never saw her, even though we lived 6 houses down. But, relationships are huge with Plexus. Okay.
I think a lot of people too, like if you start talking to them, they ask you what you do for a living and stuff. So that's a good way to, kind of talk with them and be like, well, I do this and this, but, I'm also a Plexus ambassador, and kind of bring that up too, just small talk and stuff. And then if you friend them, then they can also, kind of see it and everything too. So, it's kind of a good way to kind of make small talk and bring it up too, I think.
Exactly. And sometimes I even say, because I get asked that a lot too, and I'm just like, oh, I have a business. I work from home. And they're like, I need to do that too. And sometimes I just let it go. And then obviously it comes up, or sometimes they may ask me more of what I do, and I tell them. So people are always intrigued when you say you work from home, because, everybody wants to work from home, So Okay, this subject is something that I think is very, very important. Leading your team. And like I've said, this whole call, if you've got one person on your team, you're a leader, and you need to make sure that, you're leading them. And you don't have to necessarily have a team page when you first start out, because obviously your upline most likely has a team page, and their upline and so on. So there's a lot of team pages. But whenever you get probably, I'd say, 10, 15 ambassadors, maybe 20. I think 20 is too much, but probably 10 to 15 ambassadors. That's a good time to start your own team page. Excuse me. At the very least, you want to have a thread, like a chat thread on your Messenger. I'm pretty sure everybody on here knows what Messenger is. I was actually at Scott Pinke's training last week, and I could not believe how many Plexus ambassadors were there that did not know what Messenger was. I was kind of in shock, actually. Anyway, some people don't know. If you don't have Messenger on your phone, I mean, a lot of people just like to get messages through Facebook, but as an ambassador, y'all, it's really important. If you don't have Messenger on your phone, you really need to get it. For one, when people, with your team especially, if they message you with a question, you need to be able to get back to them as quick as you can. I don't mean you have to interrupt dinner with your family or anything like that, but most of the time it's because they're trying to, help either their downline or a customer or something. So you really need to be able to get back to them as soon as you can. And like I said, it's your responsibility. If you bring one person into this company, you need to help them. If you can't help them, ask your upline or Melissa or me. I mean, that's what we're here for. If you don't know the answers, put them in a thread with us, and we can help them. Okay, like I said, if you have a team page or a thread, one thing you need to do is videos once a week. Melissa is awesome at this. She does live videos all the time, and I think that is awesome. I don't necessarily do live videos, but I do videos. And I would challenge each of you, if you have, like I said, even one person, or if you don't have a team page, or you just have one or two ambassadors, and you can still make videos. You can post them to Melissa's team page, or you can post them in a chat thread, or you can post them on my team page if you feel like it. I welcome that anytime, because I love seeing you guys make videos. If you're scared to make a video, y'all, it doesn't have to be live. You can practice. But I would encourage you to not sit and just, scrutinize your videos over and over and go, oh my gosh, it's not perfect, and just make it and post it. Nobody else is gonna scrutinize it that much. But your team needs to see your face at least once a week. They need to see that you're still in the game, you're still working your business, you're still positive, and you're still there for them. Another thing you can do, a lot of times, ambassadors, they make a team page and they see activity on the bigger pages, and they're like, well, nobody, I post all this great stuff and nobody's interacting. Okay, if they're not, that's okay. That's pretty common when you first start a team page. I try to think of it as more informational. You're posting it so your ambassadors can get information. But if you're wanting to get them to interact more, there are several things you can do. Post things that are just going to get a response out of them. It doesn't necessarily have to be even Plexus related. But you can do prayer requests. I think that's huge anyway, because I did that about a month or so ago, I think. We had a lot of people that actually needed prayer, y'all. They had a lot of things going on in our life. And as women, we all have a lot of stuff going on, and especially military spouses. Our husbands are gone all the time. We're left with a lot of responsibility. And like we keep talking about, this business is about relationships. I think it really helps for us to let each other know that we're there for each other. And so that's something that you can do on your team page. You can ask what occupation, because a lot of times you'd be surprised at what degrees people have, or what they're trained to do that you had no idea. I did that. We've got a doctor on our team. We've got nurses, teachers, hairdressers, and we got all kinds of people on our team. I just think it's neat to see that. And other people, it just kind of helps you get to know your ambassadors that are on your team, and helps them get to know each other. And like I said, post things other than Plexus, like personality test, or I don't know, anything you can think of. And you can offer prizes. That's on down, but copying and pasting on your team page, that is great to do because we all do it. I mean, if Julia, posts something on her team page, like today, she posted about today's National Coffee Day. I had no idea, so we had to go get some coffee. I got tea, but Gracie got coffee. But, I copied and pasted that because I thought that was kind of cute and important, for everybody to know, since we obviously have a great product, Edge, that can help people replace their replace their coffee. But don't always just copy and paste things from your upline. Melissa's really good at this. She doesn't always, she's very good at passing things on that need to be passed on, but she's also good at coming up with things on her own. And if you're not sure what to do, just like anything else, making a plan is so much better than just randomly, I think maybe I'll post a video on call messaging today. I don't know, you just flying by the seat of your pants. I do that some, I'm not gonna lie. I think we all do it. But if you're really trying to cut down on the time that you spend, maybe sit down and come up with a monthly plan. Maybe pick a topic for each week and just say cold messaging is what we're going to talk about this week. And every day come up with a post about cold messaging. There's tons of stuff on YouTube. There's stuff on all the other team pages. And maybe next week you're going to talk about the compensation plan or the products or something like that. But just, you can also bring back products. Like Melissa's team page has been around long enough now that you can even go through and just, you can put a little asterisk and it'll bring the topic up to the top of your team page. Or you can repost it because you're going to have, ambassadors that come and go. So it's good to still post about the basics all the time. Even people that, I've been doing this for like 14, 15 months now. And I still sometimes, I need to go back and, re-listen to the compensation plan to make sure I didn't forget anything, make sure I'm training people right. But sometimes you forget stuff, if you get so used to doing the same things over and over, and the things that you learned in the beginning, maybe you need to refresh on. So I just would encourage you to do that. Contests are, I think they are huge. They've been huge for my team. Maybe some teams aren't necessarily motivated by that, but I think our team is very motivated by that. I still am. I love contests. And I do a lot of weekend posting contests. I think people are really good about posting, during the week, but sometimes they get busy with their families on the weekends. So weekend posting contests are just really good to keep people engaged. It kind of gives them a plan. If they hadn't sat down, they may have planned out their week. They didn't plan out the weekend. So if the planning's done for them, and all they have to do is just follow, what you planned. You don't have to, spend a lot of money. You can offer a cup or a keychain, t-shirt. T-shirts are a little more expensive. And you don't have to do that every weekend. I do, maybe not every single weekend, but I do probably 3 a month. And it's amazing what people will do for a t-shirt, y'all. They will work hard for it. And I love getting t-shirts. So I love giving them away too. I just think it's just fun. And it kind of, if your team page has been kind of slow during the week, then it just kind of gets people interactive on your page again. And it gets also on the weekends whenever wholesale ambassadors are off of work and they're not usually on a team page and they see a lot of activity, it's going to bring them to look at your team page, even if they haven't been looking at it at all. And sometimes they might see things on there, they're like, maybe I want to try a different product, or, maybe I haven't ordered in a while that I want to order. Or sometimes, when they see all that going on and giving away, t-shirts and cash and water bottles, sometimes they're like, maybe I can do this too. So it just is a lot of, brings back more activity on your page. Like I said, if you don't have activity on your page, y'all, it's okay. You just keep posting like you always did so that your team knows that you're still there. I see some that they start out posting really good and they just get bored. Nobody's, interacting. So they just quit, y'all. They may not quit Plexus, but it appears that they quit Plexus. If they're not being proactive and posting on their team page to your team, it looks like you've quit. Like I said, you may not have, but that's the only thing that it's going to lead them to believe is that you quit. So make sure you do that daily. The only day I would say, that it's your choice would be Sundays or whatever day you worship. But other than that, I would, highly recommend you keep posting every day, at least once. Post daily on your page, like I just said. I've heard some people say, oh my gosh, I don't have any runners. Nobody is doing anything. I've got all these ambassadors, nobody does anything. Okay. If they're not doing anything, okay, it's your job to do what you want them to do. If you want them to add ambassadors, you add ambassadors. If you want them to post on their team page and cold message every day, you do that. Because if you don't, y'all, I can guarantee they're going to see right through you. They're going to see that you're just sitting back and wanting them to build your team for you. And we can't do that. You've got to be the runner that you want your team members to be. Because I can guarantee you, whatever you do, they're going to follow you. If you're posting things that aren't compliant on your team page, on your personal page, guess what? Your team's going to do the same thing. And you're going to go back later and say, you guys, I asked you not to post things that aren't compliant. And they're like, well, you did it, so why can't I? If they get a team page and they're not posting consistently on it, they're not taking care of their customers and ambassadors, and you haven't done that, then that's their excuse is, well, you didn't do it. Because they only know, the only example they have is their uplines, and their most immediate upline is the one that they're going to follow the most. So, it sounds cliche, but be the runner that you want your team members to be. Another thing that you can do with your team page, if Brandy, I work, I don't have time, I've got kids or whatever, I don't have time to be posting on my team page and my personal page every day. Okay. You can use a website called Postrun, and it is awesome. It's not an app, unfortunately, yet. I think it is on, not iPhones. What's the other one? Android. I think it is an app now on Android. I don't have an Android, so I don't know. But either way, they're supposed to be coming out with one. But I just pull it up in Safari or Google, and I can just use it from my phone just like that. But it is awesome because it lets you post to like as many team pages as you want or as many groups. Like I've got, sometimes if I have like a challenge group going on, I can post to that. I can post to my personal team page. You can post to several groups at a time. So it's just really cool. And you can also use that one to post to your personal page. So if you just wanted to use one app to post to everything, you can use that one. It's totally free. I know that you can pay to be able to do extra stuff on it. I don't really know what, but I haven't needed to pay anything. I just use it for free. It's great if you're going to go on a trip and you know that you're not going to have as much time to post on your team page or anything. Definitely use Postcard. I did it a lot during the spring. I was traveling a lot, so I use Postcard all the time. Or if you've got contests going on and it's like we had 7-day challenges or different things like that. And I just go ahead and set up the entire challenge. It's usually got 3 posts a day. I set up the whole thing before it starts, and then I don't have to worry about it. It does all the posting for you. So, this one is also huge. We talk about, wanting to help ourselves, obviously, to rank up. But if you are, just say you've got 3 people on your team. If you are helping them to each one get to silver, then that's obviously, if they rank up, guess what? You're going to rank up too. Or you're going to be close to ranking up if they each get 3 people and they each get 3 people. Obviously that's ideal and everybody does it like that. But I'm always trying to help my ambassadors, to figure out their goals, to figure out how many points they need each month to rank up. So how many people do you need to add this month to rank up next month? Or, just talk to them about what goals they have, know their why. It's important for us to know our why, but it's also important for us to know our ambassadors' why, to know why they started this business, because if they're having a bad day or a bad week, you can remind them of that. You started this because your family needs an extra $500 a month, and you can help just remind them of that. Help them to make dream boards. We hadn't done this in a little while, and I need to do another challenge. We did it a lot when I first started, but making a dream board, And I don't know if everybody's seen them, but basically it's just a little board. You can make them with an app that has got things that you want to accomplish with Plexus. Like mine had, Alexis had the trip to Hawaii, and I haven't accomplished those things yet, but I'm close. So that's still on my dream board. Obviously, I want to be diamond one day. That's on my board. I want to pay off some loans, which we have done. So that, I've accomplished that. And I want to be able to help my kids with college or retirement, whatever it is that you want to put on that dream board. I think it's important to see and to save it, and, every few months revisit it and see what you've accomplished off those dream boards. And also help your team members with weekly and monthly goals. Weekly goals can be, they're going to reach out to so many ambassadors or so many prospects that week. How many people are they going to follow up with? And also, track who you have on your team that's a runner. And what I mean by runner is anybody that's actually working the business. Anybody that's, even if they've just done one post, you want to communicate with them regularly. I've got some people that they never hear anything from their upline. Y'all, that can crush somebody. It can make them go from being super excited about the business and wanting to do everything they can to rank up, and they don't hear anything from their upline ever, and they're just like, you know what, I'm out of here. It's very, very important that you keep up with all your level ones. I try to communicate with anybody on my team that's a runner. They don't have to be my level one, and they don't have to be your level one. If you've got somebody that's really taking care of their team, and most of my people do take care of their teams, you don't want to step on anybody's toes, but they're also on your team. So feel free to, just communicate with them and, see how they're doing. And just to leave that communication open so they know if they ever need you, that they can come to you. If you have anybody that's posting whatsoever and you're on Melissa's team, y'all may have a runner's chat group on your team, Melissa. I'm sure you do, but make sure y'all add them to mine as well, because it just connects them with more sidelines, and it just kind of helps everybody get to know each other. And then when you've got questions, like if y'all are in Italy and we're asleep, or vice versa, there's always somebody awake. So if you need a question answered, there's always somebody there to answer a question. Like I said, if you got just a couple people on your team, make your own runners chat group, at least with your level ones. I like to do mine, like I said, with everybody that's a runner. But that way you have a way to, at least if you don't have a team page, you have a way to communicate with your ambassadors. Some people, I know Melissa's got one. Some people even have customer team pages. Melissa, is yours for everybody on your team or just for your level ones?
No, it's for absolutely everybody. So all ambassadors, wholesale ambassadors, and then everybody's customers.
Okay, that's awesome. Mine is just for me. Mine is just for my customers. So you can do it however you want. Even if you want to make your own, obviously, you're free to do that. Because you can run specials. You can post things that you can't post on your personal Facebook. You can still post in that, as long as you make those groups private or secret, however it is, secret groups. I just think they're awesome to have. Not everybody, it's not really a thing. I think mostly our team is about the only ones that do it that I've come across. Most everybody, they don't do it, but I just think it's a great way to keep communication open with your customers, but just make sure that those groups don't take the place of, personal messaging them or personally calling them. Yeah.
I also feel like it's good because I don't do it all the time, but every once in a while I'll kind of post something that mentions like the business, or I'll even post something about other products and stuff too, just so the customers that are on there that do actually get on it and see it might see another product that maybe they haven't heard about before and want to try something new, or they might see a little bit about the business and maybe how you can make money and be interested in it. And then, they would just go to their ambassador and, mention that to them. Or I've done specials before. I think it was for like 1 month I'll do, okay, for anyone who decides they want to sign up as wholesale, you know, and I'll do like refund $15 or $10 off or something like that. And so that's also, you know, a way you can kind of run specials just to let people know about the business and stuff too. It kind of helps out everybody as a team.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I guess that's the only thing is if, you know, if you wanted to do your own, not you, Melissa, but anybody else, if they want to do their own customer group, you can do that too, because then you can run your own specials. I don't know how, y'all may have something worked out where you can do that on your own customer page too, but I don't know. I just think they're a good addition. You know, it's a little bit more to manage, but it is just a good way to kind of keep up with everybody. And those customers that fall off, they're still being reminded all the time, you know, without you having to constantly go to them. They're still being reminded about all the cool things. You can post in there about, you know, Candida, because you can't necessarily post about that anymore, and about all the, you know, detox symptoms and just different things they can constantly be reminded, you know. I just think they're awesome. Okay, so also another thing you can do as far as ranking up is track your own points every month. I like to look at the 10th of the month. I just write them down on my calendar on that day every month, and on the 15th. And then on the 26th and 28th, because obviously they're big days that orders go through. So, and then on the last day of the month, write what you end up the month with. So that way each month you can, you know, track it and see if you're going up or down. Obviously you want to be going up, but you know, stuff happens. And make sure that you are following up with people. Y'all, this is huge. If you call message somebody and they say, yeah, I'm interested, and then you never follow up with them, okay, that's terrible. So just make sure that you're following up with prospects, and make sure you're following up with your customers and ambassadors. Just because they're ambassador, especially if they're not selling, you've got to treat them just like you would a customer. You've got to follow up with them when they first get their products. You've got to follow up with them a few days after. And then like every week for the first month or two, and just until they might be somebody that needs to be followed up with every week, but most of the time people kind of get into a groove, and then you can just kind of gauge from there when you need to follow up with them. But that is huge. If you are not contacting people at the very, very, very least once a month, you should be. What I do every month is I just go ahead and print out all my level ones. There's a way in the back office that you can actually print those out, and I just go down the list and check them off. And sometimes what I do a lot is I'll go ahead, even with on my calendar, when I write down the 5 people I'm going to cold message, I'll also write down the ambassadors that I'm going to follow it with on those days. And that way I don't leave anybody out, because like I said, you know, silence from the upline, even if they're a wholesale customer, could just crush somebody. So you just need to make sure that you're communicating with them. It's our responsibility. I mean, that's our job to do that. Okay, that's pretty much all I have today. Does anybody have any questions? Y'all can unmute yourselves.
Questions, anybody? No.
I'm going to stop recording right now.